Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, Leila's Lovely Life. I am Leila. If you're a part of my Vlogmas crew, this is your Vlogmas video. So what do I have going on for you today? So today I am joining the open collab that Mindy Mom is hosting, and the collab is to create a $5 dinner for your family. So that's what I've done, and I would like to give you a little explanation before we get into the grocery haul and the cooking. So I thought I would do 4 $5 dinners, and I have prepped the items that I needed for the 4 $5 dinners. However, I was only able to make 2 of those $5 dinners before the date of December the 16th. So I would ask that if you, after you watch this video, if you liked my ideas and you got some inspiration from them, that you subscribe to my channel, and I will make a part 2 of this video and add the other 2 dinners that I was going to make, as well as my bonus dinner, which you will see, which you will understand after you watch this video. My way of doing this video is maybe a little bit different than your way. So I considered going to the store and buying ingredients, spending $5 for one meal. I live in an area that's kind of touristy. I don't have an Aldi close to me. The grocery prices, I believe, here are a little expensive. So the only way I could imagine doing a $5 dinner that had meat in it was to buy some sort of bulk meat, and then stretch the cost of the items over 4 dinners. So that's what I did. I break down every single item that I used and how much it cost for the dinner, so that you will know what we spent. So please stay tuned to see what I came up with, and let's get cooking. So here we are at the Dollar Tree. I bought some penne, which I didn't use yet. I bought some thin spaghetti, which I have used. I bought some black beans, which I used. I bought some tortillas, which I used. I bought the traditional pasta sauce, which I used. And I have a jar of Prego, which I have not used yet. So here I am showing you the food that I bought at HEB. And I will get into what I used in just a minute. So I bought a head of lettuce, which was $1.58, and I have not used that yet, but you will see that in part 2 of this video, as well as the tomatoes, which I have not used yet. That oatmeal is not part of the video, so ignore that. As well as the mozzarella cheese, that's not part of the video. The pepperoni is not part of the video. The chicken gravy packets are, and you will see them. The rice. I bought some broccoli, carrot, and water chestnut blend. I bought a 2.5-pound bag of frozen broccoli florets, which you will see I use. I bought some celery. I bought some carrots, and I bought 2 packages of reduced mushrooms. So this is the chicken that I got for the $5 meal challenge. It was marked down to $3.63. So the cheapest I've gotten these marked down have been $2.85. So it's worth it to whenever you go to Walmart to go look for these bags of chicken and see if they're marked down. So I think normally they're $4 and change. I know when we just went to HEB, and these, I don't know if it's the same brand, but these same 10-pound bags of chicken were like $3.90 in my HEB. Not on sale. That was just the normal price. So one bag of chicken is going to be for the $5 challenge, and I will explain that in a minute. The other bag of chicken, I'm going to make another frugal meal video on, so you have to wait and see that. But I am going to get these out of the bag, I'm going to wash them, and then we will talk. So I took the chicken out of the bag and dumped the juice, threw the bag away, washed off the chicken. There are 11 quarters and then just one like thigh. So what I'm going to do now is the chicken with the bones in salted water, and I'm going to boil it. So I had to put the chicken in 2 smaller pots because, well, I didn't have to, but I didn't want to get out my big, huge pot. So this is 1 bag of chicken. So my chicken came out, so I'm going to put that water in my crock pot. And then when I take the chicken off the bones, I'm going to put the bones in the crock pot. So you can pretty much tell the chicken is done when it's falling off the bone like this. Like this. But if you have a meat thermometer or a cooking thermometer, it doesn't hurt to check. My husband's sawing out front. My dogs are eating in the kitchen, so I'll make this quick. So I put all the bones in there, as you saw. I also added, now would be a good time if you save your chicken bones from when you eat leg quarters or drumsticks or whatever, to go ahead and add those that you saved back in. If you save vegetable scraps and you don't want to use that for just a plain vegetable broth, like if you save the ends of celery, carrots, onions, that type of thing, now would be a good time to add that in if you want to. Now would also be a good time to add a bay leaf or 2. So I'm going to put the lid on this, I'm going to put it on low, I'm going to cook it for at least 24 hours on low. So as you can see, this is enough chicken to make 4 meals. This is all the way to the top. I haven't chopped them yet or anything, but they are all about the same size. I don't have a food scale. I just eyeball it and feel it. So if you wanted to, so I have 2 adult females, 1 male, 1 adult male, and 1 teenage male to feed. So I'm going to put this in my refrigerator in the very back where it's the coldest, and yep, that's what I'm going to do. You can also freeze these if you feel more comfortable. I would like freeze maybe 2 of them and then leave 2 out, because we're going to be eating chicken all week long. Well, for 4 days anyway. Okay, so it's 4 o'clock. So these chicken bones and fat and cartilage and everything have been in the crock pot for 25 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. And I'm gonna move it so I can cook. But that is gonna be our bonus meal. So we're gonna get 4 meals out of the chicken meat and a bonus meal. I just took out my chicken. I'm going to chop this up. I'm going to use half of this thing of mushrooms. I'm going to chop it up. The mushrooms were originally $2.94. They were 50% off, which made them $1.47. I'm going to use half, which makes it 74 cents. So I'm going to use half of these mushrooms sliced thinly. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up my chicken and slice my mushrooms. So they're uneven. So I took out the tiniest one and I'm going to go ahead and cut it up. I really don't know what else to do. I could just cut it in half, but that seems kind of silly. That stain is cranberries. So I have this fat that I tend to save, and so I'm going to use this. It is animal fat. I'm going to use this to, I am going to brown up my chicken a little bit, give it some color. Now I don't have any money in my budget for onions, but this would be a good time to add onions as well. And this is all of the chicken cut up. So that is 90 cents worth of chicken. And as you can see, it doesn't quite cover, but it mostly covers the bottom of that pan. Now I'm just going to use some salt and pepper. You can let this get a little bit of color on it. It will add to the flavor if you want. So go ahead and cook it for about 5 or 10 minutes. After that cooks for about 5 or 10 minutes, this is how much half of the thing of mushrooms gave me. So that was a big thing of mushrooms that I bought. And that's a pretty good amount in my opinion. If you can't find mushrooms on sale, because fresh mushrooms are a little bit expensive, we use these jars of mushrooms from the Dollar Tree all the time. So if you've watched any of my cooking videos, you know we use probably at least 2 jars of these a week, if not more. So, you know, but if you don't like mushrooms at all, then of course don't add them. So while that's cooking, I'm going to take out 1/3 of the bag of this broccoli. This is 2.5 pounds. So this broccoli was $3.22. So divided by 3, that will be $1.07. So I'm going to take out 1/3 of it, and that will be enough for us. So I would say this is about 1/3 of the bag. I think we're at the point where I want to go ahead and add my mushrooms. And this is the pasta sauce that I bought from the Dollar Tree. It's 24 ounces. I found that it's okay. It's not my absolute favorite pasta sauce, but it's great for $1. So I'm going to add a little Italian seasoning. I got this from Ollie's. It was 97 cents, but you can buy this at the Dollar Tree. Maybe not this brand, but you can buy Italian seasoning at the Dollar Tree. I'm also going to add a little bit of this. So this pan came with a steamer basket. I bought this at Sam's about a year ago. And I'm just going to throw my broccoli on the top. And I have my spaghetti sauce on low. So I got this at the Dollar Tree. I'm not going to use the whole 20 ounces. I'm going to use like 2/3 of it and then save a third for another time. And also this bread from Walmart. My husband picked this up at the same time he got the bags of chicken. I'm not going to measure it, but I'm just going to guesstimate. I'm going to use 1/3 of the bread for garlic bread. So I cut the bread into thirds. As you can see, that is cut. And then I cut the piece I'm going to use tonight into 8 pieces. And I like the crust, so I'm going to have the little crust. And then I guess everybody can have a big fat piece. So this is the amount of pasta that I was able to get, and I'm going to go plate this up on the plates, and I'll see you in the dining room. So this is the meal I just made. I'll show you mine. The spaghetti, the red sauce with chicken and mushrooms, the broccoli, and the garlic toast. So this came to $4.70 for 4 people where I live. I am about to make meal number 2. So I took the carrots out of the bag and counted them. I broke the celery into stalks and counted them, and surprisingly there's 12 carrots and 12 stalks of celery, and I'm counting this middle one with the leaves as a stalk. So I figured out how much each stalk of celery cost. I figured out how much each carrot cost, and I figured out how much each cup of rice cost. Stay tuned because I am going to show you what I make for meal number 2. So I have chopped up my carrot, my celery, and I'm adding 1/4 of an onion, which is about, onions are about, the yellow onions are about 80 cents a pound here. So I use 1/4 of it, so that's 20 cents. So, and then do you guys remember that chicken broth stock that I made with the bones? I'm going to saute the vegetables in this fat. Not all of it, just some of it. So that is 3 carrots, I did use the big ones, 3 stalks of celery, and 1/4 of an onion. That's quite a lot. Now I'm going to salt and pepper this. I'm getting out my second container of chicken that I pre-made, and I'm going to chop it up and put it in that same bowl that I have the vegetables in while my vegetables are softening. So now that my carrots, celery, and onions have softened up and cooked down a little bit, this is how much chicken I got. So I'm going to add that in. And then brown all of that up together. And while that is cooking, the original recipe I don't think had mushrooms in it, but because I have half of this container from yesterday left, I'm going to go ahead and slice up these mushrooms. So I'm going to use this chicken gravy, both packets, to mix in there, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that off because it's cooked. And so I'm going to follow the directions. All you need to add is water, and so these were 40 cents a piece, so this is 80 cents. And then after I do that, I will add my mushrooms, and this is how many mushrooms I got. This is what the mushrooms look like sliced. So I just cooked excuse me, my chicken gravy, and I'm going to pour it in here. And if I need to add any more liquid, I can add chicken stock that I usually have on hand. Because I'm always making chicken stock out of my chicken bones, which this does look a little bit thick. But if you don't have chicken stock, I'm gonna turn my heat back on. You can add a bouillon cube to some water, or you can use the Knorr powdered. Well, you know that container of chicken stock powder. That's what I usually get. But you can get chicken bouillon cubes at the Dollar Tree. Or you can just use water and then add a little salt. But I want this to be a little bit looser because I'm going to serve it over rice. So I used another third of the bread, and I cut them into bigger slices so we each get a slice. I'm reheating the chicken, and I made 2 cups of rice, and that's dirty because I just warmed up my bread on there. And I let my rice sit for 10 minutes after it's done cooking. That helps fluff it up, I think. So that's what the timer's on for, and I'll meet you in the dining room. So dinner is served. This is my plate. This is the rice is underneath. The chicken country captain is on the top, and then everybody gets a slice of warm buttered bread, and that's dinner. I want to say a big thank you to Mindy Mom for hosting this challenge. I think it's a wonderful idea. I'm hoping to find frugal cookers that I don't know about. And If you're not subscribed to my channel and you like this type of content, I do frugal cooking videos quite often, so please consider subscribing, and definitely subscribe so that you won't miss part 2 of this video, and most likely there will be a part 3 and a part 4. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps us creators if you give us a thumbs up. And yep, I hope you guys are having a wonderful Christmas season, and I will see you in my next video, friends. Bye.